Sick and Sleighed. How the Elves Saved Christmas. The North Pole was bustling with excitement as Christmas Eve approached. Layered with thick blankets of snow and twinkling lights, the workshop hummed with the voices of elves working hard to prepare toys, gifts, and goodies for children around the world. However, this year was different. Just 3 days before Christmas, Santa Claus caught a nasty cold. Sniff. Sniff. The sound echoed through Santa's cozy office. He huddled under his favorite red quilt, his nose rosy with fever. The elves, usually bustling with holiday cheer, started to slow down as their beloved leader remained bedridden. Ho, ho, no. Santa moaned, reaching for a handkerchief to dab at his running nose. I'm afraid I won't be able to deliver presents this year. A collective gasp ricocheted around the workshop. Jingle, the head elf, stood with his hands on his hips. With his green pointed hat and yellow buttoned tunic, he looked particularly determined. Not on my watch, Santa. We can't let Christmas be cancelled. But who will drive the sleigh? You know the magic reindeer can only fly for Santa, a young elf named Twinkle said, wringing her tiny hands together. The worry in her voice was palpable. Jingle thought hard, his brow wrinkling. We can figure something out. We've got 3 days left. What if we took on the roles ourselves? With that spark of hope, the elves sprang to action. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they gathered around the giant map of the world that draped across Santa's workshop wall. We can train with the reindeer, Jingle announced. We're small, but we're clever. As the elves trudged through the deep snow to the reindeer stables, they found Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and the rest, munching happily on their hay. The elves explained their plan. They would need to learn the reins, harness the magic of flight, and memorize the delivery route, all in just 3 days. Good luck, pranced Rudolph, his nose glowing bright. It's a tall order, but I'll lead the way and help you every step of the journey. And so began the whirlwind training session. The elves practiced flying, slipping and sliding off the rooftop, until they perfected how to land firmly in one spot. They learned to call out Santa's commands, on Dasher, on Dancer, and even tested out their skills on real chimneys, delivering presents with practice gifts they had created specially. By the end of the second day, their spirits were high, but the exhaustion was undeniable. They gathered in the workshop's cozy common room, munching on sugar cookies and sipping hot cocoa. Are we really going to be able to pull this off? Whispered Twinkle, her eyes wide with both excitement and fear. Jingle smiled reassuringly. We have to believe in ourselves. Santa believed in us to begin with. And we'll do this for him and for all the children waiting for Christmas. Christmas Eve arrived, and Santa was still too weak to stand. The elves dressed in festive red and green, tying their scarves tightly as they gazed up at the sky where stars sparkled brighter than usual. Around 10 p.m., they gathered the reindeer and loaded the sleigh high with gifts, each one marked with a child's name. Jingle took the reins, and with a determined heart, called out, "Ready, set, let's fly." Up, up, and away, cheered the elves as they soared into the starry night. The wind rushed past them, bright lights glimmering below as they zigzagged through neighborhoods, delivering toys with glee. The first stop was a house that Twinkle had told stories about. A young girl named Lily, who had been waiting for her favorite doll. With careful precision, Twinkle climbed down the sleigh and nestled the gift under the tree. She'll love it, she whispered. With the moon illuminating their path, the elves flew from house to house, filling stockings, placing toys around trees, and sharing laughter along the way. Each stop felt magical, and they forgot their fatigue. By the time dawn broke, the elves landed back at the North Pole, hearts racing with triumph. They had done it, they saved Christmas. As the sun streamed through Santa's window, he awoke to an empty workshop and a bright cheer outside. What's this? He croaked, emerging from his quilt to see the elves bustling around. "We did it, Santa!" Jingle shouted, his eyes sparkling with joy. "We delivered all the presents." Tears of pride welled in Santa's eyes as he hugged his elves tightly. "You all showed incredible spirit and teamwork. You're the true magic of Christmas." With that, the North Pole erupted in festivities. What initially seemed like a sickly disaster turned into the greatest adventure the elves would always remember. From that year on, every Christmas Eve, the elves would gather around to share stories of how they saved Christmas, and how they learned that even when things go wrong, with belief and teamwork, magic could always find a way. I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, so I can create more audiobooks on my channel. Thank you.